In our first teacher time, we're going to talk about the transformation known as a translation. But before we get into some examples, I want to quickly talk to you guys about what you see on the screen right now. Notice that we have a blue triangle and a red triangle. We're going to start our translation with the blue triangle. The image that we start with, the figure that we start with is known as our pre-image. After we perform our transformation, or in this case, a translation, what we end up with, or our red figure, is known as our image. So our blue figure, what we start with, is the pre-image. Our red figure is the image, or if you like to think of the word image as a photograph, the red one is kind of a picture or a duplicate of the blue one. Notice we have the definition right here. It says a transformation where all points of a figure are moved the same distance in the same direction. This is what a translation is. And then you have a note disclaimer down here that says translated figures are isometries because the image and pre-image are congruent to each other. So there's two words in that note that I want to talk to you guys about. The first one is an isometry. In geometry, the word isometry relates to two different figures. If two different figures are isometric, then they have the exact same size. Or in geometry, you can think of the word isometry as being equal to each other. Same size, same shape. Similarly, this word congruent is a geometric word. The word congruent is the actual word for equal to or equivalence in geometry. If I say triangle ABC is congruent to triangle A prime, B prime, C prime, that means that this line from A to B is the exact same length as this line. This line from B to C is the exact same length as this line from B prime to C prime, and so on all the way around the triangle. Everything is equal. Now let's talk about how we do a translation. In example 1, the question asks us to translate the pre-image 3 units left and 2 units down. So this green triangle in the left graph is what we started with, triangle ABC. To move it 3 units left and 2 units down, we're going to take each of the vertices, vertex A, vertex B, and vertex C, and apply that translation to it. So we're going to take this vertex at A, we're going to move it 1, 2, 3 units left, and we're going to move it 1, 2 units down. So A prime ends up being right here, or our image of A, which is at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and up to negative 7, 2. So we do that for each of the points. So notice for point B, we move it 1, 2, 3 units left, and 1, 2 units down to get where B prime is going to be. And we do the same for C. Now our image, A prime, B prime, C prime, should look the exact same as our pre-image, just it should look like we shifted it around the graph, or we kind of picked it up and set it back down somewhere else. That's how a translation works. So here for example 2, this one says use the rule to translate the pre-image xy goes to x plus 2, y minus 1. So we're doing the same thing we did on example 1, but we're using this rule to apply it. Now where it says x plus 2, we know that our x values go left and right because our x-axis is this horizontal line. So our x values go left and right. Our y values go up and down because our y-axis is the vertical line. So the way that we use this rule is we take each of our x coordinates for all 4 of our points and we add 2. We take each of our y coordinates and we subtract 1. So if you look down here, here's our original coordinates. A is at negative 4, negative 2. We're going to take that negative 4 and we're going to add 2 to it. So we have negative 4 plus 2 gives us negative 2. Then we're going to take our y value, which is negative 2, and we're going to subtract 1 from it. So we do negative 2 minus 1, which gives us negative 3. So we do that for each of our points. And what we find out is that we took our pre-image and we added 2, or we went right 2 and down 1 to get our image. This is where our A prime ended up. For B, we went right 2 because we added 2 to our x value. and down 1 because we subtracted 1 from our y value. This is our b prime. So if we add to our x, we go right. If we subtract from our x, we go left. Similarly, if we add to our y, we go up. If we subtract from our y, we go down. This is how we ended up with all of these image coordinates. And this is how our pre-image went right 2 units and down 1 unit. Now our third example says graph the pre-image with the following coordinates. I've gone ahead and done that. Here's ABC, triangle ABC, graphed based on these coordinates right here. It says do that on the left. We did that. Apply the following transformation and give the coordinates of the image. So after the transformation, we have xy goes to x minus 2. So we're going to subtract 2 from each of our coordinates. And y minus 3. So we're going to subtract 3 from each of our y coordinates. Which means we're going to take our x value right here, which is for a, which is at -1, +1. We're going to subtract 2. So -1 minus 2 gives us -3. And then +1 minus 3 gives us -2. So a prime ends up at -3, -2. So just like example 2, we're going to apply those operations to each of our vertices. Subtract 2 from our x's, subtract 3 from our y's, which means we go left 2, down 3. Then finally, for our extra example, it says graph the pre-image the same way we did the last one. Apply the transformation the same way we did the last one. So our xy here goes to x. Notice the x doesn't change at all. So we're not going to go right or left any. We're going to stay in the same x position. And y plus 5, which means we're going to go up 5 units. So all we're going to do here for our blue pre-image is shift it or translate it up 5 units. So we're going to take our L and we're going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's where our L prime is going to be. We're going to take our M and we're going to go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's where our M prime is going to be. We're going to do that for each of our coordinates. This is what your translated image is going to look like. So when we do a translation, we are literally taking our x and y values and adding and subtracting from them. We are taking our pre-image, we're picking it up and setting it down. We're not flipping it over, we're not turning it around, we're shifting it around our graph. This is how translations work.